Hey, Derek here with an interview with Amy Vansant, and we're going to be talking today about a great resource that can help you promote your book and especially build your email list as an author. Amy is founder of AuthorsXP. It's a resource that I've been recommending to authors for the different promotional tools that are available there. And it's one of those things that when you're starting out, it can be challenging as an author when you don't have a big audience of your own, or maybe any audience of your own. How do you find readers? How do you get the word out about your book? How do you get the word out about your email list? And fortunately, there are some great resources out there like AuthorsXP that I've been sharing with authors. And I wanted to bring you firsthand, hear it right directly from Amy about AuthorsXP and some of the ways that it can help you as an author. So welcome, Amy.
Hello, thank you.
Yeah, so have you start out sharing a little bit about your backstory and how you got started? Because you've written 30 books, maybe more than 30 by the time this goes live. You're a USA Today, Wall Street Journal best-selling author. So you have the credibility as an author yourself, and then you created a resource like AuthorsXP to help fellow authors. So can you share a little bit about what AuthorsXP is and what inspired you to, as an author, create AuthorsXP?
I started it because it made sense to me, because it is so hard, especially when you first start writing, to get all your marketing going. So I started it as a newsletter swap with me and groups of people that I knew. And then I decided to formalize the newsletter swaps into giveaways that now I run every week. So a bunch of authors come together, we give away their 3 copies of their books. 2 winners get a copy of all of them, and then a bunch of people get 1 of each. And so the readers seem to like that a lot. And I like to keep those giveaways to books and not cash or anything like that. So we get real readers signing up to win the giveaway. And then at the end of the event, the authors all get that list of readers that they can add to their own newsletter list. So it's just a more organized way to kind of do different genres and get authors to work together to get emails instead of having to do it by themselves, which would cost a lot more. And then after that, I guess people just started saying, hey, I wish you had reviews. I wish you did this. I wish you did that. So I just kept adding things until now it's pretty massive.
Yeah, so you have a few great resources there, or tools that can help authors. Before we dive into some of that, let's start here. Like, well, will this work for my genre? So we get different authors. If they're fiction, nonfiction, children's book, cookbook, are there certain authors that you have services for? And then are there other genres that maybe wouldn't be a fit for AuthorsXP?
I'd say the only 2 that I don't do everything for, or quite as often, I guess. I most of the things work with any genre. The giveaways, I don't really do nonfiction for the giveaways very often because it's so hard. There's so many subgenres that you can't really mix cookbooks and business books, and I can't get enough authors that are all cookbooks or all business. So what I tell them to do is maybe 6 times a year I do multi-genre events, where it's whoever comes and signs up for the giveaway can choose what genres they like to read. And then I split the list at the end. So if you have a nonfiction, or a kid's book is another hard one, you can be in those multi-genre events. And if people click that they like kids' book or that they like nonfiction books, then, there's a person for you.
Awesome. And then we'll talk a little bit about what this is. But if someone's doing a giveaway of other authors' books, so this is one of the methods that I've recommended. So they're giving away, let's say, 10 business books or something like that. Could they still do your giveaway booster service? Would that be a fit or not?
Yeah, absolutely. Because the difference is, one is basically me helping you get word out about your giveaway by telling all the people that are already readers and part of the readers at Authors XP. There's about 100,000 of them now. And then the giveaways, the authors actually work together. So they're a little different every time. So depending on, if you've got 20 authors in one event and they all promote the event, they're basically kind of swapping the people in their newsletters to each other in a legal, legit way, because they're just saying, hey, why don't you go sign up? And everybody signs up at the same place. And that doesn't happen with the giveaways that are run by other authors. for those, I'm just promoting their stuff to my people.
All right, cool. And make sure we kind of dive into what each of these means. So if you're listening to this and you're like, what is the giveaway? What is a newsletter swap? We'll cover that. I want to establish first, though, that I've seen ways that just about any author could benefit from at least one of the services that you have at AuthorsXP. So let's take a step back. You mentioned newsletter swaps is one of the things that you, one of the reasons why you started AuthorsXP was for yourself and doing these swaps. So I have been preaching the importance of a newsletter, of a mailing list. I would imagine if anyone's followed my work for a while, you're well aware of how important an email list is. I'd like to hear from you, Amy, like what is it that motivated you to do newsletter swaps as one tactic, and why do you consider a newsletter important for authors?
I think newsletters are pretty much the number one thing that an author can do for themselves, because there's lots of things you can do with, Amazon and Facebook ads and all sorts of things you can do. But every single one of those, they could pull the carpet out from under you at any second, pretty much. You have no control over it. You can do your best, and then the next day they change the algorithm, or they decide something they don't want anymore was the one thing that worked best for you. So your newsletter is the one thing you have total control over. You can keep building it, never get disappointed because you were climbing up your way, you had 10,000 people on your list and you're feeling great, and then all of a sudden it seemed like 2,000 dropped off. I probably have like 200,000 people in my newsletter, and probably 60 of them are really active, but that's 60,000 people that I wouldn't have if I hadn't gotten those 200,000. So you don't even worry about that. Just keep trying to find new eyeballs, because that's the only thing that sells books in the long run.
Yeah, and I say pretty much everything comes back to your newsletter. Social media is great if it's coming from social media, eventually back to your newsletter, and all these other things. It's like I'd say pretty much every road leads back to your newsletter as an author. So that's another word for that. It's your email list, or you might hear it referred to as different things like that. So now, what exactly, for someone who maybe hasn't done a newsletter swap or isn't quite familiar with what it is, what is a newsletter swap for authors?
It's so when I run these giveaways, each of the authors, I ask them, you can't go to their house and twist their arm behind their back and make them, but I ask each author, as part of their duty while they're in this, to share news of the giveaway in their own newsletters. So that lets everyone that follows them know that they can win a bunch of books that are probably very much like this author's books. They go and sign up. And so if every author does that, when we get a little portion of every author's newsletter going to sign up to this one place, and then I share that list with everybody at the end, you've all made each other stronger through it. So at the end of these giveaways, you've got a little bit of everybody else's list and a little bit of my core list and a little bit of people from Facebook, because I run Facebook ads too. So it's a nice mix.
Yeah. So hypothetically, let's say you're a sci-fi author and you participate in one of these swaps, these giveaways. It's you might be there with a handful of other sci-fi authors. You're all promoting it, and so now you're able to attract and gain some of the followers of these other authors onto your list, and vice versa. So you're all helping each other out. To me, it's the rising tide lifts all ships type of thing. And
exactly.
Part of that's also just the mentality that when you realize, oh, you're not necessarily competing with other authors, you're collaborating.
It's not a zero-sum game where people lose or win. It's everybody wins.
Exactly. Someone's a fan of one sci-fi book, they're going to read others, or insert genre. That's usually the case. So you're all helping each other out, and this is a way that you can facilitate that. And of course, you could always go put it together on your own. You got to seek out authors and do all that. It's nice if you have a service like this where they can all come together through AuthorsXP and say, hey, we're all going to do this, and then you help kind of coordinate everything. And so when you say a giveaway, so if you want to participate in this, what is required as an author? I know one question, well, what if my book's in KDP Select or something like that? What do you need to be able to participate in one of these giveaways or swaps?
You only have to give away 3 books. In the end, 3 ebooks. I ask authors if they want to donate a paperback and gift that to someone. I'll give them a little extra, their book on the main page there. But really, you only have to give away 3 ebooks. So at the end, 9 times out of 10, you can just gift through Amazon. So you don't have to worry about breaking any terms of service. And Amazon's not really worried about you giving a book to your cousin or this one guy. They're worried about you giving hundreds and thousands of books away. So it's not that big a deal to start off with.
Yeah. So to confirm, it's okay for in KDP Select. You're only giving away 3 books. You can choose to gift it. I mean, if you want to buy a copy and gift the ebook, that's one option. And then you mentioned like you're sharing the list. So some people might wonder, well, how does that? I know the answer, but like, how does that work with permission or GDPR or things like that to be able to participate and then get the subscribers on your list?
I have a checkbox on the entry form that whoever's entering has to click it to continue. So that's them giving consent, and it's it says next to it, you are giving consent, yada yada yada. But so that covers that end of things.
Cool. And then I know every genre is different. Do you have any stories of authors, some of the results that they've seen, or some of the outcome after they participated in one of these things in terms of new subscribers or new fans or anything like that?
I have a lot of testimonials on the site, actually, because it occurred to me maybe I should start keeping them when people said nice things to me through email. So there's been a lot of people who said, this is the best promo I ever had. I finally, my newsletter's finally starting to take off, because it is very demoralizing in the beginning when you've got, 5 people and 3 of them are related to you in your newsletter. So when you start getting hundreds and hundreds and then thousands of people, it makes you feel a lot better and helps you keep going. And actually, I have a new service that I just started probably last week, where I'm doing a similar thing with Facebook ads, because I have a fair amount of success with Facebook ads, but it's also very expensive. You can't really get ahead doing them unless you've got a series. So, you get read through. So every time you get someone to read book 1, hopefully they're reading a lot of books. So you end up getting paid back a little more. So I'm organizing Facebook ads for authors now by genre, where we run a giveaway, very much like the regular giveaways, except it's all Facebook people that they're going to get, which is awesome for me because I'm even loving this a lot. These are different readers. These aren't, there's the kind of readers that belong to promo sites like AuthorsXP. And if you went, probably if we could go somewhere and compare my list to every other promo site, we'd find a fair amount of people that are doing multiple ones. This is everybody. Facebook is everybody pretty much. So it's Facebook and Instagram. And these are readers who really want to win books, because I'm only giving away books again. And they're high quality for the most part. They're not necessarily in promo sites. So these are the people who, believe it or not, pay full price for books, who actually give you $2 or $3 for a book and don't cry about the fact that they didn't get it for free.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool to see. I was just on the site and I saw the Facebook ads thing there. I'm like, I don't remember seeing that before. So that's a great new service that you have. And you have multiple services. So we covered the newsletter swamps giveaway type of thing. I briefly mentioned kind of doing your own giveaway. I'll explain what that is in a moment. One of the things you pointed out, though, that's so important is just for your motivation and your inspiration to want to keep going when you start out and you don't have that many subscribers. I'm a believer in, sending a consistent newsletter, even when you don't have a lot of subscribers, just getting that habit. It's kind of like I've heard about people say when it comes to like saving money or something, save $1 a month if that's all it takes to get in the habit. It's kind of like send the email just to get in the habit, right? And yeah, at the same time, I get it. It's like if you only have 5 people on your list, it's sometimes challenging to find the motivation. And so when you have a service like this that you can sign up for and fairly quickly, like not talking about waiting months and months and months to get some new subscribers, you can actually kind of give yourself a nice jump start, a kickstart and getting newsletter subscribers. This is why I recommend a service, or it's more than one service, but the whole suite of services like AuthorsXP, because it helps you get that start, helps you get that foundation of subscribers, and then it makes you more motivated to want to do even more beyond that. So we mentioned the newsletter swamps. I don't know if we'll be able to go through everything that you offer at AuthorsXP, but another thing I want to cover is the idea of doing a giveaway booster. And so setting up a giveaway is something that virtually any author can do. And this is giving away other authors' books. So for instance, you might give away, let's go with the sci-fi author example. You might take 10 popular sci-fi books and do a giveaway, and people enter to win that. And everyone who enters to win that giveaway can become part of your email list, right? And so even if you don't have your own book to offer, you can do something like that. And one of the things that I noticed about AuthorsXP is you have a service that helps people promote these giveaways. And you also, I saw, have a service that helps people create these giveaways. So can you share a little bit about what that service is, both the promotion and the setup for authors who want to do like this, I don't even know what you would call it, a contest, a raffle, kind of like using a King Sumo type of service to build your list?
Yeah, exactly what you said. You can always use other people's books. Some people give away items that kind of go along with their theme or are similar in genre somehow. All that works. And it occurred to me when I was trying to promote my own giveaways that I wish there were more places I could go and just sign up, and they would promote to other people beyond my network and thus expand my network ultimately. So I set this up, and then some people are more savvy and they've already used King Sumo or Gleam or whatever they use, and they want to run a giveaway. So for them, I just promote it, and it's basically just a dedicated newsletter about their giveaway that I send to all my readers. Other people aren't so far along the curve, and they don't know how to set up any of those King Sumo things, or they don't know how to set up their own forms on their website. So for them, I'll set up a form on my website or use my Gleam account and just do all that side for them. So you can choose from either one, sort of the self-service or the I need some help.
Awesome. Yeah. And I've worked with a lot of authors teaching them how to do the giveaway, and it's a great method. I mean, whether you're just starting out, even if you don't have a book out yet, you can do it. If you're well established, you can still do it. I just recently ran one. And I've also seen some of the tech challenges. I know it's a big issue for some authors. So if you're like, this tech, it's just too much for me right now, I want someone else to kind of help out with that, then you offer that service, as you mentioned. So it's great whenever there's services out there that can help with that, especially when it's as affordable as what you offer. So we've talked about newsletter swamps. We've talked about kind of the other authors' books in a giveaway, or just doing any type of giveaway. What about reviews or beta readers or things like that? How can AuthorsXP help if author wants some book reviewers?
I have both those things, and I also have another one called Typo Killers, and they all kind of fall into the same category, where I have all the readers that regularly visit AuthorsXP, and some of them are really rabid readers, and they love nothing more than to read books and talk to authors and tell them what they think of books and look for typos and review them. So if you need any of these services, I make up a little newsletter basically for them, just a little mailing, and I send it out to my best readers, and they sign up if they liked the idea of reading or editing that, not official editing. Don't use this as you're going to edit my book. This is that frustrating thing where you've already paid one or two people to edit your book and people are still finding typos and you don't know what to do. Then this would be sort of a kind of a sweep up thing where a couple readers who love to look for typos, like they're Sherlock Holmes of typos, will do it for you. So yeah, it was just a way actually to make the readers who wanted more to do and the authors who needed some things to be done to get together. I'm sort of like a dating service in the long run between readers and writers.
Yeah, and to be clear, this is legitimate feedback that you can get from these reviewers. It's not like people out there saying, hey, pay me and I'm just going to write a positive review. It's not like a fake review thing. These are actual readers, people who are, love reading books, love offering feedback, love catching typos. Like you said, it's not an official proofreading service that it is. You get that kind of feedback. And
this is all real people
offering real feedback. And again, it's one of those things, like when you're starting out, it's the whole thing with reviews is kind of a chicken or the egg thing for many authors, I find, where it's kind of like, I need readers to get reviews, but I also sometimes need the reviews to attract the readers. Like,
Right.
how do I get going? It's similar with a kind of newsletter. Sometimes if you're starting out and you don't have a big following, it can be harder to do like newsletter swaps and stuff like that. That actually brings me back to another point. What if someone is starting out and they want to participate in one of these newsletter building events and they go, I don't have much of a following of my own. Is there like a minimum requirement that someone needs to have to be able to participate in one of these events?
There isn't. I decided in the beginning, for many different reasons and many different things that I do, I'm not going to be the book cop who comes in and says, "Oh, you only have 3 people, you can't do it," because this time maybe they're not going to be that useful for everybody, but the next time they will be, because the next time they've gotten the list from the first event and now they're in a new event with new authors, so it's a different mix, and you never know who's going to sign up and who's not. So they'll be useful next time.
Yeah. So this is a great resource, regardless of where you're at in your author journey. So we've covered a few of the different services. You have some of the biggest ones. Anything that we haven't talked about that you'd really want to highlight in terms of what AuthorsXP can do for authors?
I think the one thing for selling books that, as far as I know, I was the first one to do it. I'm starting to see it pop up on a couple other promo sites, but I have the usual daily deal type thing, like BookBub has, and Robin Reads, etc. But I also have something I call the Spotlight. So that's when a newsletter goes out with your whole series in it, not just one book that's on sale that day. So my favorite way to arrange them is, in a perfect world, I like to do book 1 free, book 2 99 cents, and then the rest of them at full price. And the idea is you get to show people your whole series. People that started to read your series, maybe forgot you, will see the later books and go, oh gosh, I forgot I like that. Go back and buy them. People who haven't started will get the first one because it's free or 99 cents, preferably. They're not always, but that depends on the author. They get to pick what they want the prices to be. And if you use it clever, it works really, really well.
Awesome. Well, this has been fantastic. One other thing, if someone has a book and they want to use one of your services and they're not sure if their book would be a fit for it, what would you recommend to them? Is there a way they can reach out or something?
Yeah, I talk to about a gazillion authors a day by email. So there's a contact on the site. I think at the bottom there's a contact form, or my email, or one or the other. So feel free to just email me and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing X. What do you think about that? Half the things that I offer now came from authors saying, I was wondering, is this a possibility? And I go, wow, it could be. Let me see, and we'll test it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it works, I'll keep it.
Yeah, awesome. That's one of the things I really appreciate about you, Amy, and in the service that you provide is you're there, you're in touch with authors, you're listening to what people are requesting, you're open to, as we just mentioned, with the Facebook ads, creating new things that are going to help authors. So whenever you're watching this interview, who knows, maybe there's even more that AuthorsXP is offering. So the website, we've been mentioning it multiple times, AuthorsXP, it's the letter X, the letter P. We'll have a link around here. And we have a coupon for the services. It's just my name, Derek, DEREK. So that'll give you a little bit of a discount. It's already very affordable. You can also use that coupon if you want to save even more on some of the services there. So Amy, I'm a fan of what you're doing. I've used your service. I've recommended it. And I really appreciate you taking the time here today. Any final words for authors as we wrap this up?
Well, no, just don't give up. Keep writing. Just keep writing. That's the only thing that makes you more money.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you.